So, Kate, whereas as many as 15 million Americans have food allergies, nearly 6 million are children under the age of 18, and research shows that the prevalence of food allergies is increasing among children. And whereas 8 foods cause the majority of all food reactions in the United States: shellfish, milk, eggs, tree nuts, peanuts, soy, and wheat. Symptoms of food allergies reaction can include hives, vomiting, diarrhea, respiratory distress, and swelling of the throat. Whereas food allergies result in more than 200,000 emergency room visits each year, reactions typically occur when an individual unknowingly eats a food containing an ingredient to which they are allergic. The number of food allergy reactions requiring emergency treatment is up sharply over the past decade, with 377% rise in medical procedures associated with anaphylaxis, which is a serious allergic reaction that is rapid on onset and may cause death. And whereas there is no cure for food allergies, and scientists do not understand why, strict avoidance of the offending food is the only way to prevent an allergic reaction. And whereas Food Allergy Research and Education, FAIR, is a national nonprofit organization dedicated to improving the quality of life and the health of individuals with food allergies, and to provide hope through the promise of new treatment. Now, therefore, I, Greg Zilka, Mayor of the City of Avon Lake, proclaim May 13th through May 19th, 2018, as Food Allergy Awareness Week, and encourage residents of Avon Lake to increase their understanding and awareness of food allergies and anaphylaxis. Signed on this 14th day of May, 2018, Greg Zilka, Mayor. Here you go, man. Thank you.
We see your bravery and your strength and your resilience. That you are surrounded by a community of classmates, teachers, parents, and staff in the district who want just the best for you, who want you to feel safe and included at school. Thank you to the city and the mayor and the council and all of you for taking a few minutes to listen about food allergies. Thank you.
An ordinance confirming the appointment of Francis Tibbetts as lieutenant in the Avon Lake Police Department.
Fran Tibbetts became an Avon Lake police officer on January 8th of 1996, and he was achieved the rank of sergeant on August 21st, 2001. So he's been with the city a long time, and we are very lucky to have him as a member of our police department.
I, Francis Tibbetts, do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States, the Constitution of the State of Ohio, the laws and ordinances of the City of Avon Lake, and that I will faithfully, honestly, and impartially discharge the duties of lieutenant to the best of my ability during continuance in said position. Congratulations.
Thanks, all right.
Ordinance confirming the appointment of Ronald Candleberry as sergeant in the Avon Lake Police Department.
Ron Cantleberry became a police officer on March 15th, 1999, so he has served the city of Avon Lake for 19 years, 19 outstanding years serving the residents of Avon Lake, and we are really grateful for the quality of candidates we have coming forth at the beginning level, and as they mature and grow and learn a great deal, we are very fortunate to have people like Ron and Fran Tibbetts serve our city.
I, Ron Candleberry, do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States, the Constitution of the State of Ohio, and the laws and ordinances of the City of Avon Lake, and that I will faithfully, honestly, and impartially discharge the duties of sergeant to the best of my abilities during my continuance in said position.
Congratulations.
There apparently is a damaged electrical pole on the southeast corner of Electric Boulevard and Lear Road affecting 11 businesses. Karen has informed me they're replacing the damaged pole on May 18th, and hope to have it done before their 8 a.m. start for all those various businesses. This is in the area of the Hartzell car repair and the break wall in that area there. University Hospital's Avon Center is sponsoring the 3rd annual wellness competition between the cities of Avon and Avon Lake as a community challenge. You can sign up between now and May 24th to register. You will get a health assessment, and then you will also go through a wellness challenge, which starts on Wednesday, May 23rd, and ends on Thursday, August 9th. All tracking will be done at the fitness center at the University Hospital facility in Avon, and you can register at the front desk of the UH facility on Detroit Road or off of Detroit Road, or call 440-988-6801. It costs $15 per participant. People 15 years of age and older can join. With that, you get a T-shirt, and they will track and monitor your progress, and they'll compare your vital statistics at the beginning and compare it to the end.
The railroad, Norfolk and Southern, is doing rehab of the rail crossings at both State Route 83 and at Miller Road. Both intersections will be completely closed. Avon Belden Road will be closed on the 21st, which is next Monday, through the end of the day on Wednesday, the 23rd. And then Miller Road will be closed same day, 21st, but because there's 2 crossings there, they will be opened up on the 25th. That is out of our control. We kind of learned about this at the end of the last week and have been trying to work between the 2 cities with them to figure out how they're going to do this. But late this afternoon is when I got the detour map, so I will have to consult with the 2 chiefs for the 2 cities and the service director of Avon to make sure that we're all right with it. But they wanted to do a 3rd one, but we were very adamant against closing multiple locations, particularly they were going to close the Jaycox crossing, so we vehemently oppose that, and they are no longer going to do that. They'll postpone that to a later date. So the Weber Road 83 traffic light, as you will notice on Friday, the actual poles and mast arms went up, but due to the fact that we need to work with them a little bit more on relocating the traffic controller, we are going to, you will see, and residents will see, a sheet of plywood that will be placed in the location of the proposed controller box so that we can drive through there and actually simulate what it's going to look like.
Thank you. I'm Ted Osborne. I'm the Economic Development Director for the City of Avon Lake. Address is 150 Avon Belden Road, Avon Lake, Ohio. With the 3rd reading of temporary legislation 11076 this evening, I just wanted to say a few quick words about how comprehensive land use plan benefits economic development, and I would start by saying I view comprehensive land use plan as a document that a city can rely on in taking its actions. And I think the best way for me to illustrate that is with a couple of recent actions that we've taken, one being the purchase of 14 parcels in the Avondale area over the last 4 years, and another being the recent purchase of 110 more out of sheriff's sale just a couple of months ago. So the purchase of the parcels in the Avondale area is consistent with the planning work that was done as part of the West End development plan. And we've discussed what we're doing there. We're purchasing lots so that we can make a more developable area and that we can have some leverage when the development happens. And I can explain that, but if that were memorialized into a citywide document, we wouldn't have to revisit each time the question of why are we doing this and when are we doing this. It would all be in that document. Similarly, the purchase of 110 more is consistent with the more recent planning work that was done with Lorain County in the Lakefront Connectivity Plan. And we've discussed that too. We purchased a very strategically placed property in a high priority redevelopment area, and we did it to prevent not ideal owners from buying the property and to perhaps direct development down the road. And again, I can explain that, but understandably, I do get a lot of people saying, why did the city do this? And what is the city going to do next? And if we had that comprehensive plan in hand, we'd have those answers already there. I would imagine that we would direct or suggest our planning consultants to incorporate all of the planning work that's been done over the last 10 years, the West End Development Plan, the Lorain County Lakefront Connectivity Plan, the Multimodal Transportation Plan that was done a couple of years ago. I think that each of those planning efforts will have a lot more teeth if they're in a comprehensive plan. I'm a big fan of public planning. I think that when that happens, I have something that I'm confident is the plan put together by the residents that I can then execute, which allows me to move faster and find more opportunities. So those are my thoughts on comprehensive.
Thank you, Mr. Esborn. Anyone else like to speak this evening?
Hello, Ruth Boer, the zoning administrator. More generally than the specifics that Ted was speaking of, I just want to say there are businesses and uses now that weren't in existence when the original plan was put together. I feel calls frequently about where would my business fit in Avon Lake? And the answer isn't clear most times. I think the city needs the update to deal with the world today, not the way it was 20 years ago. The Planning and Zoning Code needs updating to go along with that, and this plan would provide some guidance in rewriting the entire plan. And I think that the whole purpose of this is not to restrict, but to broaden possibilities for businesses and uses of buildings.
An ordinance authorizing the mayor to execute a personal services agreement with OHM Advisors for the creation of a comprehensive plan and declaring an emergency.
Planning and zoning code and comprehensive land use plan. The particularly comprehensive land use plan, the last major overhaul was 1999. Isn't it? Everybody can notice from the city a lot has changed. But also as we move forward, path forward with the remaining properties that we have, the remaining opportunities that we have from both residential needs as well as commercial needs has drastically changed when you look at the surrounding communities around us. So therefore, looking at the comprehensive land use plan, getting input from all aspects, be it the developers, be it business owners and so forth, I think is going to be very important to put together a plan, as Mr. Esborn had talked about, to put together a plan that he can use and that we as a city can use path forward, so that when we look at, maybe a rezone request that may come aboard or a new development project that might happen, it will give us more opportunities and update the plan that we've been working very closely with, but it can use to be updated. Thank you.
Last one with the roll, please.
Mr. Koss.
Yes.
Mr. O'Donnell.
Yes.
Mr. Zuber.
No.
Mr. Arnold.
Yes.
Mrs. Campo.
Yes.
Mrs. Fenderbosh.
Yes.
Mr. James.
Yes.
An ordinance amending section 1070.02 of the codified ordinances to prohibit the use of tobacco in parks and declaring an emergency.
Mr. Koss.
Thank you, Mr. Council President. This is the first reading of this. I plan to go 3 full readings and have plenty of discussion going forward. This legislation will effectively prohibit and ban the use of tobacco in our city parks. This is an item that came out of Safety Committee with the full support from the Park and Rec Director, Tim Pinchek. And I anticipate a lot of information that will be put out to the public in anticipation of the passage of this after the 3rd reading. I have spoke with Mr. Pinchek, and he's going to be speaking, if he hasn't already, which I'm sure he has, working with the Public Works Director, Barb Cagley with the Avon Lake Public Media Department, and the Avon Lake Police Department to make sure that we get as much information out as we can about this new ordinance, and get signage up and get PSAs out and get people talking so that everybody is fully aware that this is coming. And this is following a number of other municipalities in the area that are doing this. And I have to say that I spoke to Mr. Jim Zimnek, the president of Lorraine County Metro Parks, today for quite a while about this, and he wholeheartedly congratulates us on making this move. He'd like to see more municipalities do this, and he feels that more are going to do it. But he couldn't be happier that we're moving forward in this direction, and they plan to be a partner. The Metro Parks plans to be a partner with the city on enforcing this, not only in the city parks, but also in the Cough Reservation. So we're going to go the full 3 readings on this, sir.
Thank you, sir. Further discussion? Mrs. Fenderbosh?
Yes, I am so proud of you for bringing this forward, Mr. Cos. I know that not every member up here on the council desk was here when the health department from the Lorraine County Health District came in and made their presentation about the number of lives that we can actually save within our area. Could you bring them back again? Is there time to bring them back to make a small presentation?
Mr. O'Donnell? I'd be happy to, if we could schedule a work session, or perhaps if we could just have some extended period on a CCM, maybe 10 minutes or so, rather than the usual 5 or whatever. I work with the council president on that, but I'd be happy to have a member come back. They're also extremely happy that we're moving this direction as well, too. Yeah, thank you, Mr. Council President. Just like the previous piece of legislation, this will go the full 3 readings. And what this legislation will do, it will effectively prohibit and ban smoking on all public properties, all city-owned properties in the city. And this one will have an effective date of January the 1st, 2019. This will give opportunities. This will give the opportunity for our employees that are currently smokers to make adjustments to their lifestyle, to deal with this new ordinance. I spoke with the HR director several times on this, and upon passage of this, in that 6-month or 7-month window between the passage of it and the actual implementation of it, the HR department will work with employees in the city to get them the assistance through their insurance companies and through the city, whatever assistance they can provide to help them out to deal with that difficult transition of not being able to take your normal smoke breaks, which could have a detrimental effect on some folks right away. So it's been very supported by the HR department and the members of council and the safety committee. And I do need to note that city land does not include city streets, sidewalks, and tree lawns. Those are not included in our definition of city land. So it's just basically the municipal campuses and the grounds of them.
Thank you. We've gotten reports of ticks in various areas of Avon Lake, specifically, Mr. Koss, in your ward, Waterside Crossing. The health department is mobilizing its tick unit, which will begin on Monday. We hope that the tick inspectors will be out by Tuesday of next week to determine what kind of ticks there are. And if they called some dog ticks, and those are the ones that are no problem, but the black ticks are the ones that could carry Lyme disease, and those are the ones especially concerning the health department. But they will get on top of it and do the appropriate, spraying or take action to alleviate the ticks in given areas. Thank you.